Hello and good morning to UPSCFEVER.com's economic survey tutorial. So today we are going to finish chapter number 2, which is on Chakravyuh, and this is the chapter. So what is Chakravyuh? The economic survey of 2016 is the work of the chief economic advisor to the finance minister, and this person is usually an eminent economist who has vast experience in the field of finance and policy making. And Chakravyuh refers here to the phenomena in Indian economy in which companies and firms can enter into business with ease, but they can't exit out of their business due to legal and political compulsions. So this refers to the phenomena where India has moved from a socialism with restricted entry to marketism without exit. In the socialism that was prior to 1991, very limited sectors were open to the market, and otherwise all other sectors were dominated by the public sector enterprises, and there was a prevalence of license and inspector raj, which meant that any entrepreneur who wanted to open an industry had to first obtain a license for the same. And this system led to a lot of corruption and so also restricted the economic growth of the country. However, after 1991, the country moved to the new economic policy, or what was then called liberalization, privatization and globalization. So this was the mark of it was perhaps the greatest economic reform post independence, which started the system of a market economy in India, and thus the country moved from socialism to marketism. But the economic survey says that India has moved from a socialism with restricted entry to marketism without exit. So this means that companies can't exit from business, and this is against the rules of a market economy. A market economy requires unrestricted entry for new ideas and firms or businesses so that resources can be allocated for efficient uses, and at the same time inefficient firms and businesses should be allowed to close down so that the resources that are tied up in them can be taken away from them and redirected to the efficient firms. And so what kind of resources is this economic survey talking about? This refers to mainly capital as well as labor and other such resources. The problem of exit in India is demonstrated from the fact that the most successful businesses are only 1.5 times larger than the newer businesses. And this number is worrying because in developed countries like USA, the most successful businesses are 40 times bigger than the newer plants. This is as the most successful plants have competed for a longer time and dominated their peers and gained a larger market share over time, and hence they are many times larger than any newer plant. But in India, a very successful business is only 1.5 times larger than a newly opened business in the same category on an average. This is even poor compared to Mexico, where successful businesses are twice as large as the newly opened businesses. There are many sick and inefficient firms in India which wouldn't have survived in a capitalist economy or a market economy, but there are many reasons due to which these inefficient and sick firms are still being continued and not allowed to close down. One reason is the large number of employees working in them, which is a vote bank, and probably there are political pressures which do not allow such firms to close down. but there are many problems when such firms are allowed to continue their business. Number one, the fiscal cost. The government provides many subsidies like bailouts, loans, and tax concessions to such inefficient firms so that they can continue their work. And this puts a cost on the financial resources of the country. This is like spending good money over bad money. Air India is one of the best examples where large amount of bailouts and loans have been given, and yet the Air India company continues to be the largest loss-making industry in the airline sector. Economic costs are also faced. The allocation of resources to inefficient firms leads to economic costs, and if such bad assets are allowed to continue, then the banking sector faces a huge problem as such bad assets are seen on the bookkeeping of these banks, and this reduces the flow to newer investments and reducing the growth of India. The political costs. The benefits given to the inefficient industries usually go to the rich who own the industries and not to the workers. The willful defaulters are aided by this, and this can cost the economy even more. So as you can see that the benefits which are given to six firms usually do not reach those for whom they are meant, and they are cornered by the willful defaulters as well as the owners of these inefficient industries. However, the economic survey has provided some solutions which shall enable this to be which shall reduce the costs associated with exit, and a solution which has come has been the bankruptcy code in India. This has been implemented and will definitely make a huge impact on exit exit policy of companies. However, bankruptcy code is not a part of this video. You can go to our economy section, and you will find the chapter on the bankruptcy code there. Right. So the economic survey also provides certain suggestions which will improve the policy making by public servants of India. Usually, public servants refer to government servants or servants of public sector units like banks or corporations. The main problem that these public servants face is that every decision taken by them can be reviewed by agencies like the Central Bureau of Investigation, the CBI, and the Central Vigilance Commission, the CVC, and also courts. And such oversight mechanisms are often seen to impede the process of decision making. Many times it has been seen that bank officials want to give concessions to the defaulters so that they can restart their business. However, these decisions don't take place as they are afraid that taking such steps might lead to their investigation by such agencies like the CBC, CBI, or the Central Vigilance Commission. The economic survey also recommends training and capacity building measures which shall impart specialized knowledge to the public servants and empower them to make good decisions. The Anti-Corruption Act has a very draconian provision by which if a public servant causes gain to another party, then it is regarded as a criminal offence and he can be prosecuted. However, such a draconian provision does not exist in the anti-corruption laws of any other developed country. Because of this provision, even if an honest public servant makes a mistake, he can be seen as being a party of corruption. Hence, this provision punishes even honest mistakes. And so, these provisions impede decision making as they make the public servant's decision capable of being investigated by agencies like the CBI and the Central Vigilance Commission and also the courts. There is also a need to examine whether the vigilance officer's post, which is created in every government department with a view to ensure that corruption remains away from such departments. However, these vigilance officers have not been so fruitful in ensuring that this objective of reduction in corruption is achieved. And there is a need to examine whether this post is able to achieve its objective. So, in this, with this, we end the chapter on Chakravyuh. However, if you are not comfortable with concepts like market economy and what is socialism, then you can go to our economy section and read about it. So that was it. Don't forget to do this and see you for the next video, which will be on the third chapter of economic survey, spreading jam across the Indian economy. So best of luck and keep watching. Thank you.